one of your experiences, like having stayed in Lisbon, that your first impression when you arrived, when you just came in, and then you are like, Lisbon.
How do I get to city center?
Yeah,
that was my first question.
Okay.
And that's the first place I tried to get conned.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I know. The guy was like 50 euros.
No, 50 euros
50,
for what?
50 euros is like 7k, right?
50 euros times 120 or 133 depending, so it could be
could be. I get to the airport and then the taxi driver is like 50 euros.
Wow.
So first of all I was like, oh okay, cool.
Yeah.
I go to my bag to check and I'm like, wait, what did you say, 50 euros?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, hapa nadanganywa. Niko karibu kula ile kitu.
Wow.
Then I was like, wacha niulize tu mtu mwingine.
Yeah.
Then happily the person I asked, they're like, you know what, just take the train.
Yeah, it's much cheaper on the metro.
It's cheaper, it's easier.
Yeah.
But then let me tell you, I don't know if that person didn't see that I had 2 suitcases.
Oh my god. So you had to like be on the way, like checking yourself and
checking myself on carrying. Nilikuwa nataka nimetoka ushago kweli everywhere.
And you're a baby girl.
I'm a baby girl.
Like,
I'm a baby girl. Nobody knows I'm a baby girl.
Welcome to Europe. That happens a lot. So you have to take care of your own baggage sometimes.
It's actually everywhere. You know the way in town, unaweza pata mtu akusaidie, upatie sijui how much.
Yeah.
There's no one to help you. Everyone's just like, are you okay? The smile, the nice, are you okay? But they don't want you to say you're not okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was my first experiences. But until today, I'm friends with the guy who helped me get the metro.
Okay.
So I guess it was the easiest way to start making friends.
Yeah.
And that was my first friend.
Okay. That's really, really interesting. At least, so it's easy to make friends, as you may say, maybe.
Not easy. Actually, as an adult, guys, keep your friends. If you start removing guys from those lists, just draw 2 kopeke yako.
Okay.
Making friends as an adult is so hard.
But I am thinking like maybe making friends in Lisbon was easier for you, was it? Was it kind of easy? Would you say like it's easy to make friends with a stranger here? Is it easy to talk to the locals or no?
No, because I've made friends through Bumble, and I've never joined a dating app. This was my first time to ever join a dating app. But guys, Bumble is not just about dating. There's also Bumble BFF. But then Bumble BFF has nobody, so it's the dating site.
Okay.
And then that's where I've made most of my friends. So even if we go out on dates, we don't like, and it doesn't go anywhere. We're still like connected, and we're still good friends. I think Bumble for me has been the way to make friends.
Okay.
So how about you? Has it making friends?
Well, I would say like for sure. When I first arrived in Portugal, I arrived in Porto, and I think it was easy to make friends in Porto just because I think there's a different type of vibe going there, and like in Porto, because of the university and the fact that there were younger people.
First of all, I think you were in uni, so it's so much easier to make friends in uni.
Yeah, it is. It was actually very easy because we would just meet with people. But one thing that I found when I first arrived here, so there's this day I was super lost. I didn't even know where to go. It was in Porto, and then I actually just stopped a random person, and I was so surprised that they stopped first because coming from Nairobi, there's no way anyone would stop for you.
Really?
Why? Who are you? What are you? What do you want from So it was the first time that a stranger stopped, showed me the directions, and in fact walked with me like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, showing me, oh, it's over there. Don't get lost.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my, that is so kind. But I think you can get that in Nairobi.
No, I don't stop for anyone in Nairobi.
You don't stop? I do.
Oh, honey, you will get robbed. You will get hypnotized. No, but that's the reality, though.
I mean, okay, look. No, I'll hold. I just, speaking about robbery and things like that. I just feel like Nairobi is also quite safe. Even the people you stop on the road, and they're most likely good people who just want some, maybe umpatie so 200 and they're gonna be happy. I don't know. I think that's my experience of Nairobi. It's safe.
I know. I mean, there are parts of Nairobi for sure that are very, very safe.
Yeah.
But other places, like you don't want to be in some streets like on Kimathi Street or Moi Avenue and walking around and anyone stops you and you just stop and you just don't know the intentions. I guess like Kenyans, we have been scammed so much.
Yeah.
So in my head, like, I've been scammed myself in Nairobi town. So in my head, I'm always like, if someone is stopping me, either they have some ulterior motive.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about what you want from me.
Yeah.
I don't know you. Let's keep walking and move it. But over here, like I always stop for people. It's so funny because that changed a lot. When I was in Nairobi, unaniita sister alafu mimi miss your
No, because sister inakujanga. Okay, look, mimi ni different. I feel like strangers in Nairobi are so nice. They're so ready to help.
Okay.
And kama watu wa parking, the parking boys.
Okay.
You're always talked by the parking boys. They'll always get you a good place to park from.
Yeah.
Parking boys are not known anywhere. Here ukitafuta parking unatafuta hadi uende tu place ingine. Like kama hakuna parking hadi tu
shida yako.
Yeah. Hakuna parking boys, and I feel like those are those luxuries back in Nairobi that we take for granted.
Yeah.
Here ndio utafute parking. Honestly, kuna mara kadhaa tumeenda park mahali and then we're like, okay, no, let's just go to another restaurant.
Yeah.
Because atupati any parking slot.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, oh my god, in Nairobi that would never happen. So strangers, I feel like in Nairobi are sweeter and much better.
All right.
As opposed to here. Okay. I feel like, or rather it's because I'm African.
Yeah, but like it depends on which type of strangers you're talking about. Because if you're talking about parking boys in Nairobi Center, then yes. But strangers who just are walking around and chokora pia Nairobi town never.
Chokora. maybe
those chokoras who
like nakwambia upate kitu kidogo, like it's intentional.
Oh my god, I have had the worst experiences, let me say, because there's times even chokoras will be behind you telling you stay toa kitu amba tukupake hii mafi. Never. I mean, I don't know which Nairobi you live in, but me the Nairobi I know, I am super afraid of chokoras or hey my friend. No, but that's just the reality. Nairobi Center is a bit different for me, I guess.
Yeah. I think for me it's totally different.
Yeah.
I felt people are warmer in Nairobi.
Okay.
People are kinder. And people are, as much as watu wanakuwa na haraka yao, people care a little bit. That's been my experience. Okay, but also in Nairobi, watu kadhaa nikiwaangalia wananijua tayari.
Yeah.
So maybe there's also that I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
But then, okay, here I feel like people are just so melancholic.
Yeah.
Okay. Like they are.
What do you mean? Do you really mean by melancholic? Like how? What?
Sad.
Explain.
Like you don't want to just like tell someone excuse me.
Yeah.
They'll be like looking at you like, I don't know. I just haven't felt the warmness in people. But not like,
is it for Portuguese people or for foreigners generally? Because this one is a mixture of people. Like we have lots of international people, we have lots of Portuguese people.
Yes.
So are you feeling that this warmth has not been with the Portuguese people per se or the internationals?
Well, I think from my point of view, I can't really tell who is Portuguese, who's not. So that everybody just looks white.
Okay. But I mean, okay. Yeah.
But I think people are in a hurry and people have their own lives.
Yeah.
So it's hard to just like stop someone from their busy life and from their busy walk.
Yeah.
Although I have stopped a few people, like, okay, there are cops that I stopped.
Okay. Stopped cops.
I did stop cops because I was like, if I'm going to get any help, these are the ones to get. In Nairobi, if you want to stop anyone, you better go to a cop. If you're scared of like kupakwa.
Really? But a cop will ask for money first.
No, never.
No, Basi, which Nairobi do you live in? Nairobi do you live? I mean, I think also, I guess this is a huge difference of the systems because like Nairobi systems and Portuguese systems obviously are very different.
Yeah.
So do you feel like that the systems here work much more efficient than Nairobi, or would you say it's the same? Or
no, I mean, depends. Like, for example, the transport system here is amazing.
Okay.
If the bus is supposed to be here at this time, maybe it's gonna be late with 1 or 2 minutes.
Some don't keep time.
Some don't keep time. Maybe 5 minutes max.
Okay.
But it's going to be there.
Yeah.
In Kenya, they obviously at our transport system, no one wants to be in the public system, because it's inefficient and you know, it's just inefficient. You'll get late, but it's the best excuse ever. Kulikuwa na jam. Kuna hizo excuses because when you agree, like, it's going to be 15 minutes for me to get to you, it's literally going to be maybe give and take two minutes. So I just, this transport system here works beautifully.
Okay.
Whether you take the metro, the train, the bus, the Ubers, or even when you're in your own car, all those systems work perfectly.
Okay.
The government system here is so slow.
Yeah, I know.
It's
a whole appointment system.
It's a whole appointment system, and you have to wait. I had an appointment with a dermatologist,
right?
And it was booked in January, and I'm like, so
you don't have any more?
I'm not gonna be here in January unless, you know, you want me to just stay for this. So I just feel like the appointment system somehow works for them, but then not for someone who comes from a country where things are done chap and immediately. And even if you want it faster, you can take TKK yourself through there and get it even faster. So do the systems here work? Some of them work, but then some of them are too slow for me to consider them efficient.
Okay.
But then the transport system is quite beautiful.
Right.
When it was flooding, I got a message on my phone telling me not to leave the house and to take care which places are going to be affected. And I thought, oh wow, at least the government knows where I am. They know where I am. When I want to find the government, they're not nowhere to be seen. But when they want to find me, they know
exactly where you are, because that's the other thing. Because like here, at least you can feel that the tax that you're paying at least is being utilized in the correct way.
Yes.
And you know, it must be nice. Sometimes it's like when I compare Kenyan systems and here, and I'm like,
no, we don't get to see our tax. Let me tell you something. One of the things I really appreciate is the parks here. They're so beautiful,
right?
And the streets are cleaned all the time. There's a night I was out the whole night, and it was raining, and still there were guys cleaning, and those are guys from the city council. They were still cleaning in the rain, and I have that footage. I'll just put that there. And it was just like, wow, I wish our money could be doing that kind of job, like making sure the city council is making sure the city is clean, and these guys litter. It's not like they're clean people. No, they litter. They're normal human beings, and they smoke a lot. So if they were not cleaning these streets, we would be walking on smoke bags everywhere here.
That's Portugal for you, for sure.
Right? But then every night the city council is here to make sure all that is taken away, and I thought that was amazing.
Okay. So proud of you having come here already, taken that step to come out of Kenya and do a solo trip. You know, like,
guys, don't try that at home.
No, you should try. she should give you more motivation.
If you're ready to be, look, I have a new relationship with myself. After this solo trip, I have a new relationship with myself.
Wow.
Standing up, like going through the airports alone, having no one to turn to, and just having to figure things out on your own. I've sort of like grown up. I'm just not 30. Trust me, this is a 60-year-old woman you're looking at.
And that's what abroad life teaches you. Actually, I usually say it reintroduces yourself to yourself.
True.
Because you just didn't know someone.
How much you can take.
How much you can take, what strengths you have, when you're faced by a challenge, what to do, you just don't know until you're out there in the open. So I'm super proud of you. You should do this again. But I want you to talk about one of the biggest highlights of Portugal, which is
the wine.
So tell us more about wine. So
okay. So first of all, you guys, the wine is free.
Oh, free. Oh,
okay.
You found free wine.
Close to free. Like if wine is like 200 bob, 150, and it's really good wine. Like 150 shillings, not euros. 150 shillings, like you get some really good wine. And I mean, that to me was such a surprise. So here people like, you can live on wine. Forget food.
Well, we would not recommend that, but yeah, that's true, because Portugal is one of the largest wine producers. So there's lots of wines in different cities in this country. So okay, so
so the wine is free. Okay, practically almost free.
Okay,
but I really like that about this place because you know, like alcohol. Okay, not alcohol. Let's just say the culture of drinking wine in the table kind of brings people together. Here, people take time to eat. They like, if it's lunch, you'll eat and eat and eat, and then after eating, you drink wine for like another hour, because you can have 2 bottles, 3 bottles, and same to dinner and even breakfast. I've seen guys drink even in the morning. And it's just a really good culture for people to keep catching up, talking. I really love that culture here. It's the Mediterranean type of life, and then they, like on Sundays in Portugal, it's a very sacred day for families. So you'll find, like, you know, people are just going out with their kids, their grandparents, their, you know, grandmas and all that. You know, it's such a very interesting thing that we don't have in Kenya, which is very, very commendable, because in Kenya ni tutapatana grisi, sindio? But then ni kweli.
Sindio?
Ama jioni. Ama jioni tukikula, si wote. You know, like here, I must say people are so affectionate. Like ukitembea tu kwa streets on a Sunday or even on any day. For me, it's been even any day. People hold hands, kiss, hugs. Adults are busy, but then the time you have for your friends and your people, it's you take that time seriously. So I genuinely enjoyed that.
Okay.
But let me ask you, the big R, the big race thing.
Oh, something that's never is hush, hush, hush.
Hush, hush, hush.
But nobody wants to talk about.
I know, but then, okay, like I was telling you, all the circles that I have been, we've been forced to have this conversation of race. Not forced. Maybe it's because I'm a bit passive when it comes to race. I always felt like it's not my war. I don't want to join a whole group of people fighting this never-ending war. I'm so passive about race questions and the issues around race. Maybe I feel something in my heart, but I'm like, okay, I don't want to be the one to start talking about it and sound like a complainer. But then after coming here, all the circles that I've been hanging around are people who have...
always comes up.
It always comes up. In dinner, breakfast, whatever time, it always comes up. But it's because also these are people who have kind of been exposed to, what will I say, friends and family who've been affected by race. And also maybe as themselves, they've been affected. And anything that affects your friends and your family affects you too. So, I mean, look, I only became black when I got here.
Very true. That happens when you get on a plane, guys. So if you're planning to even leave Kenya for even a holiday, you will realize you're just black from the airplane.
Okay, I'm going to kwa airplane. First of all, I must say that I left with KQ.
Of course.
Senye walikuwa wame strike. And I got so lucky to get like the next plane or something. But then I had, and the crew was amazing to me. I'll put the clip. The crew was amazing to me. They made sure I was comfortable. And like I had such a great experience leaving Kenya. Maybe the atmosphere changed in France.
See? Exactly. So like everything changes actually when you leave Kenya. The first thing that you realize is that no one is going to care you are Mercy from Kenya or Jane from Kenya. No, you're just a black person. They don't care where you are from, and that is something that is rarely talked about because it affects so many people. And it's easy to blot out some of these things, but it's very important to actually talk about them because it's the reality of being abroad and even traveling abroad. That's one of the things that I would really want to highlight is that racism or profiling or microaggressions or micro-racism or whatever you want to call them, like those small things.
Yeah, I like the word microaggression.
Yeah, microaggression happens every single time, every day. Like you will find someone telling you, or just not even telling you, giving you that side eye or perhaps
can you afford this food you're buying?
Huh?
Can you afford this Uber? Oh, I had a thing with an Uber driver. I was late. Maybe it was because I was late.
Yeah.
But then he just left and was like, "You think I'm your personal driver? You think I'm your personal driver?" He was so mad.
Wow.
And I was like, "Yes, you are my personal driver. That's what Uber is.
Thank you for this, right?
For that 30 minutes, you are my personal driver."
Yeah.
But then I wondered, was it because I was of African origin, or maybe it's because I was late? But he was so mad, and it's almost like it was the microaggression. But at the same time, my problem with racism, and there's a thing with classism.
Yeah.
Because generally in the world, people who are poorer tend to be treated badly.
True.
Yeah? And so the thing is, there's a mix between classism and racism. Because people assume, because she's black, she's poor. Or because he's black, he's obviously poor.
Right.
And I think that's what, for me, I would... I think... Okay. This is a really hard topic because even if you get, let's say like you're saying, when you leave Kenya and you're just another black person,
right?
But even when you make so much money and you are in the right you're in the right seat. Like let's say you're taking what's it called? Not private jets, the first class.
Business class maybe on airlines or first class on airlines. Yeah.
Are they still going to treat you badly?
Well. One way to find out, is to become rich and then buy a first class ticket and then,
But I've had conversations with people who are a bit rich here in Portugal, and they're like, okay, look, the microaggressions still happen even when you're in a good car,
right?
Even when you're in a great restaurant. Maybe they even say that, look, you're arrogant because you're rich. Any small thing that you do is it's like you're put in a microscope. Even when you're now richer, now you're on a bigger microscope.
Sure.
And then even people of your own color think that you have an attitude. And that, you're trying to not associate with them.
Sure.
And when you're poor, it's the same thing. Like even other black people look down upon you. And other white people look down upon you. I think the thing about race, I don't know. I think societies grow slowly.
Right.
It's gonna take some time before people actually realize that black is not equals to poor.
True.
And black is not equals to lack of opportunities and what you call robbery and all the nasty things that are associated
to by the media.
What is painted by the media, and it'll take a long time before we correct that.
Right.
But then the question is, do you bring those conversations up all the time?
That's a very good question, because one thing you have to realize is to grow a thick skin, because the racism can be found the profiling, let's call it, or the microaggression, if you may. You can find it in institutions, you can find it in employment, you can find it just on the streets in your normal day life. But the thing you have to do is to stand up for yourself, and learn how to, because sometimes you can be so demoralized from small things happening to you, and then you're like, okay, so how do I deal with this? So one thing that I have learned, because it has happened to me, obviously, so it's to know how to either speak up for myself or blot it out equally, and just not think about it, because it's going to affect your mentality and your mental health. And eventually what is going to happen is like you can wallow down and feel like you are not worthy of a certain position or a certain thing that you're doing, or worthy of even staying in a certain country just because you're from a certain descent. The thing that you have to realize is that some people act like this just because of ignorance. Maybe they have not ever left their country. Maybe they have prejudgments and prejudices that are neither here nor there. They just wanna
inflicted by the media. They don't have any personal experiences with black people or people of African descent. It's just media inflicted.
That's it.
And they are ignorant, or rather they might not even have access to the information. Many people I've met here who it is their first time interacting with an African are shocked. They're like, English.
How do you even know English? Where did you learn English?
You know how to take an Uber?
Why? How?
No, did you expect me to call a zebra and just
do you have a giraffe? Oh, or maybe you have like a giraffe or like a donkey that lives behind you.
Who knows?
In Kenya, maybe they think that you have a lion that guards you, your home, and all that. Then you hang out with these animals.
That's true.
But
then when you realize that the people who have such thoughts are people who've not really left their country and are people who are not so exposed. So I think the challenge is always having to explain yourself and explain that, oh no, I actually come from a very beautiful country and I have a great ancestry. Experience of being black, quote unquote, is very different. Actually, I hate the name black. So I've been using the word of African descent because if you're black, fine. I guess we agree that Africa is where people who are
black came from.
Yes. So if you're black in Algeria, you're in Paris, you're in America, you came from Africa. So can we just say you're someone of African descent? But maybe other people don't want to associate with the continent because of the poverty story. And I think my responsibility while I was here, I just felt the need to educate people that we don't come from a poor place, that what is shown here to be poor, just because maybe we don't have pavements and maybe a clean transport system,
doesn't mean that
we're poor. No, we have kids there that you consider poor are eating very healthy food every day and are happy. So Nduta was telling me her biggest culture shock. Which is?
Well, my biggest culture shock since I came to this country was, first of all, people being very trusting, I must say. Like that was the thing that was a big shock for me. The way you will stop someone on the streets and they'll be like, let me help you. But that had never happened to me in Nairobi. You are Nairobi, you have been helped me.
Very different,
no. So like that was one of the biggest culture shocks. And the other thing was like to find how easy, things like smoking and things like alcohol is so easy to access.
Very easy to access. Yeah, very true.
A lot of people smoking on the streets. No,
everyone smokes.
Never.
You can't smoke on the streets. There's a law that you can only smoke in designated areas. So I mean, there's one what is it called, a hostel that I slept, and a hostel you're sleeping more people. I think we were 6 in this hostel, and then we have to open the window because we are many in the room, and then in the morning the one thing that wakes you up is the smell of cigarettes. Because everybody in the street is smoking, so all that, and the hostel is in the middle of town, so all that was coming to you. So I think that's true, people here do smoke in the streets. That's different from Kenya.
I know.
And then also women smoking, it's not so unique. I think people are very liberal when it comes to that.
And what was your biggest culture shock that you will not even get over in a long time?
Guys,
wait for it.
it is not smoking with children. I think my biggest shock, I won't say culture shock, but my biggest shock is that I was so excited, and I didn't expect that I'd be so excited to meet other Africans. It's become the best thing that has happened to me since I got here. When I meet Nigerians, I've met guys from Guinea-Bissau, Mozambique. I've met guys from Nigeria. I'm living with a Nigerian currently, and oh my God, it's like when you meet them, we are all siblings. It's so different. It's like when we're all out of the country, you can rely on another black person to be kind, and
I wouldn't say that in the grand scheme of things. Because that does not happen that much.
Really?
I wouldn't quite say that because and there's a thing that we've talked about this in different places like Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces and all these kind of things, because like Africans in Europe or in the US abroad, some of them really don't want to assist each other. In fact, you find like there's a clique of them. Maybe it's not like I'm saying this like, saying that every African is not going to be helpful, but you will find this happening in a lot of cities, is that they will want to not really help, but some of them might be in competition with you. So there's that, because there's also the thing that happens in abroad that nobody talks about. There's a lot of I want to say competition, yes, but I also want to say the intellectual loneliness. So which means that, for instance, maybe some people who've come maybe to work on a very high, big jobs, and other people who are still trying to maybe find their way around, and then you get to do other small menial jobs which you might not be very proud of. And so there's a fact that there's a rift between these two people, and so some people will be trying to maybe compete and be better and find themselves better, and they forget that there's no euro, no dollar, no pound that will ever talk and say, oh, I came from cleaning, or I came from tech, or I came from a big job. No, because we are all here trying to make it so that we can make our lives better. Even at home, we can send money home and all these kind of things. So I wouldn't
so you don't say Africans come together?
They don't necessarily come together. There are different communities that actually come together. Like you'll find Nigerians helping each other so much, Kenyans not so much, Ugandans not so much as well. Depends on actually where they are, because there are great communities like Ugandan communities in the UK and perhaps in Germany, some places, and so on and so forth. But you will find there's always that competition that is happening, and there's always a small rift, which is very different from Nigerians. Actually, Nigerians want to say
I mean, do you feel because I've met a few people from international, I have more international friends, and I feel like the Americans, they don't want to meet other Americans. The Kenyans don't want to meet other Kenyans. It's like when you get out of your country, you want to distance yourself from the people from your country. Could it be that, or do you feel like it's just on the African people?
I would say that, and then that melts down to an individual, because there is also complexity of either inferior complex or a superior complex. So there are these two complexes. So if you feel that, I don't want to ever see at the other Kenyans, I want to meet, white people, become friends with white people, whatever. And there are others who will feel I want to intermingle and all that kind of thing. So it melts down to an individual. But forming communities is a very intentional thing, because you might try to find your community, and those people who you will rhyme with, stick around those ones, because it's very difficult to bring people together, because you are abroad, we have different schedules, we have different jobs, we have different things we are trying to find and look for, and get money from ABCD places. So forming those communities can be very difficult, because even the Kenyan community here in Portugal, we try. It never happened.
I haven't met you guys. She didn't allow me to meet you guys.
Me?
I'm joking. I'm joking, guys. I'm
that's
joking.
the thing. You know, you will not like quite find them like 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, it's been hard. I mean, and everybody I tell that I'm Kenyan, they're shocked.
Yeah,
I think,
never seen other Kenyans.
No. I think especially because this country has links. We don't want to talk about what type of links. But
links, yes,
links to Angola, Mozambique, and so a lot of those people are here. Well, my experience is different. Like, I have enjoyed meeting other Africans. When I was sick at the hotel, the ladies who were cleaning my room were from Cape Verde, and they were caring, you know, because every time they'd come to the room and I'm in bed, they'd still clean up. Like, they were not so official with me, and I felt like a bit was because I'm an African, and a bit of it is also because I was sick, so they kind of took care of me. And I mean, I feel like other Africans, okay, look, it's my experience, but I've enjoyed meeting other Africans, and then hearing all the crazy stories about their governments and how they want so much change. And I'll say that every other African who is in this continent, they want so much change back at home, because a lot of people are sending money back home to do projects and investments. So they do care about the political environment. They care if taxes are being used properly. They care about leadership. I mean, and those are things I care about. So every time I meet other Africans, and then we're able to connect, oh, by the way, I wish our transport system was like this, I wish our government system was like this, and then we know that, wait, even there's corruption in Europe, so it's not just in African governments, you know, like just that, knowing that, and us talking amongst ourselves, I feel like for me it's given me more pride. And then people here, Africans here, are so focused. They know why they're here. They know what they came to do, and they're doing it. And it doesn't matter. And I especially loved it living with my Nigerian housemate, because those guys, first of all, I'm the one who's always like, oh, let's talk about this race thing. He's like, oh my God, no. No one is gonna look down upon me. Hey, you know, Nigerians are so loud.
They're lows.
Their confidence is over here, so they don't really like, they don't really also, you would not say that it's easy to be racist against them. It's not easy to be, because, and then they walk in packs, they live in packs, so
they help their own.
So I feel like it's been so empowering to be with another Nigerian, because it's just like, you look at me, you have no money like me, you know, they're like, you don't even you cannot even afford my clothes, you cannot, and then they're telling that to a white guy who lives here, and you know. So I just feel like that has given me so much confidence, and it's made me know that there's a difference between racism and classism. And you better be rich. If you're a black guy, if you're an African person, I think it's easier to be rich, so that at least the part of poverty or being looked down upon is over. At least now you can fight a skin color war, which you don't really have to. You can decide to just not care. But then one of the things that has forced me to have these conversations is going on dates with white people. And have you been lucky? Lucky how? In what?
Unapeleka home mzungu?
Calm down. Mantis are Kenya.
Online aunties want to know.
Let me just tell you, it has. This is look at this guys kissing. And I love that. You know, guys will show you. But then, I think when going on dates with white guys. Should I call them white guys? Because it's also racist.
Were they Portuguese or?
Yeah, they were Portuguese. So let's say going out with the Portuguese guy and seeing how people were looking at us in the streets, in the restaurants, you know,
side eyes, glances, stares.
I think because it's not, I guess, fine. Like we say, the world evolves slowly. At some point, these guys were our masters, and we were the slaves. And at this point, we are equals. The world has changed. Some of us have even more money than them and live way better. And those values will begin to show slowly, and that's how they're showing. They're showing in biracial relationships, and in so many ways. But then if you're with a white guy, if you're with a white person, the conversation of race has to be there, and you have to talk about it. And and somehow they have to know that you may be treated differently from them.
Yeah.
And I think those are the things that has forced me to have to talk about race. But I feel like I'm always pushed to talk about it because I'm never.
And you never used to talk about this when you were in Nairobi, so things have changed.
Never. No, it's also because I have experienced it directly by maybe some people making it look like, oh, I don't deserve the person I'm with because they're of a different race, or maybe or that mostly that, and or maybe I'm looked at like the one who's the gold digger because. Oh, this guy is probably richer and you are just an immigrant and blah blah blah. But there's some of those things I sometimes they're in my head sometimes. Sometimes in my head.
So when you go back to Nairobi, you'll have them somewhere in your head, like in your subconscious. You'll be like, I was treated in a type of way somewhere.
But then I'm also growing up to understand that the more you are aware, the more you are exposed, the less you'll have such microaggressions towards other people.
Exposure is everything.
Exposure is everything. Like, can we be racist? Do you think, by the way, we can be racist towards white people?
For me, I don't think so. But after living here, like now in Nairobi, like some restaurants, the way they treat, they treat you in some type of way. If you are not in a certain type of color, you are not from a certain, like your skin color is different.
Say African descent.
Yes, okay, so true. So you'll go to some upscale restaurants in Nairobi, and instead of you being served first, they prioritize people who are white.
Yeah.
And now, when I always go back to Kenya, I always have that in my mind that like I need to be treated correctly, and I have to like say it loud to them that hey,
do you ever feel that here? Do you ever feel that here?
That does not necessarily happen here that much.
Oh yeah.
I've never gone to a restaurant and like
because the waiters are black. I'm joking. That's a bad joke.
Well, but at the same time, I have never had like that experience of being mistreated just because I am from African descent.
Yeah.
Or being served later just because I've never had that, but I know there are some people who've had it before. So I guess, but it's always in your subconscious. Like the way people will. There's a saying that says that people will never forget how you actually treat them in the long run. So please make sure that you can treat people correctly. So whether it's like
but here you've never experienced being mistreated or being treated last. I mean, served last just because you're black.
No,
that happens. That's the thing about classism as well. In Africa, it happens because the white person looks like they have a bigger tip. And it's classism. But I also feel like we can be a bit racist towards white people in Kenya. Because sometimes, how many times do we say, oh, they're just poor, when whites are in Africa, they're poor? Only the poor white people come to a vacation in Africa. We have some bad negative things we say about white people, and it's racist. I mean, I think racism can be both ways, and those are arguments we've had with friends because they say that racism can only be towards can only be backed by a bigger system, so it can only be from whites to blacks, and I think racism can also be from black to white. You could be racist about them. We say they're dirty. Those are things that we say amongst ourselves
as well. Racism is prejudices that you have, or like thought processes that that may or may not be correct.
True. Anyway. We say that white people are dirty all the time. We say that what else do we say about them? That they grow old and become ugly. Like the women become uglier when they grow old. Like those are racial slurs. Those are things that we should be saying against other people just because of their color. And that's what I'm realizing. Racism can be both ways. It can be towards black people and towards your own black person and towards even another person of another race. It's a whole other thing. But then I have not been treated badly in Nairobi. I've
people know you, let's say.
Okay. I keep forgetting that fact, but then I've never felt like, oh, this white guy is being cheated. I've never felt that.
It happens a lot though.
It happens a lot. I understand that. I can say when I came here is when I was like, okay, wait.
Who am I? So in the grand scheme of things, Mercy, do you see yourself coming back to Lisbon?
I do. Just because and I've gotten so many nice new friends.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah, we never knew each other.
We never knew each other. And here I'm calling her Anita all the time. We never knew each other. I've gotten some good friends. I've always wanted to have like a home in Europe.
Right.
And when I was coming, I was scouting for that. And I was told that Portugal is a great place to have a second home.
So do you dispute or do you agree?
I totally agree.
Okay.
Also because now here there are so many races.
Right.
So we're a mixture of so many things. It's just not white.
It's a very international community.
It's a very international community.
Yeah.
I like that about here. I also like the amount of money, the what do you call it? The quality of life versus the amount of money you make.
Yeah.
I think you can have a better quality of life.
Yeah.
Or rather a really good quality of life here. And so pretty.
Yeah, it is a beautiful country.
They put so much effort in making sure that it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Like in the streets right now,
you will see. Oh, look at that! The streets. Wait.
Oh,
there.
Look at how cute, and it's just for Christmas. And this
is it using maybe wa Kenya.
Oh my! It's pretty. Look at that.
Yes.
Just valuing Christmas.
Yeah.
We are
there. Those lights right there. Actually pretty cool.
Let me make sure I said it right. Avenida de Libertad.
Okay. Avenida de Libertad.
Avenida de Libertad.
Oh my God, she has one Portuguese.
I wish I just say whatever. Avenida Libertad.
Yeah.
But
okay.
This the city council takes time to create this beautiful ambience, whether it's for tourists or it's for the locals. It's always happening and it's so pretty. So I think I really love that about this city. The fact that they put beauty first.
For a party and something.
And beauty is really important here. And we haven't shown you guys anything. But it is extremely beautiful. We have B-rolls that great. Lastly, we want to tell you about the money.
Money. We got money. Yeah. Anyways, so the cost of living here in Portugal. So what's your experience? Because me, I know my experience.
Nakwambia.
Character development.
Hey, my assistant Esther, my beautiful, loving assistant. I love her so much. Must say that.
Yeah.
Ananitumia 10k. Zinakuja huku kama mashilingi.
They're like, what is this?
Akiniambia, wacha nitumie 5k. Nenda kuchukua 5k Western Union. I'm like,
euro.
Is this all are you sure it's the euros? Like, our money value, honestly, we need to work on the value of our Kenyan shillings. I don't know how that's done. Maybe economically there's a grand scale of working on that, but genuinely, okay. So that's my experience, that our money becomes really little here. But then on the flip side, what you can do with that 30 euros, which is 5k somehow, it's a lot. Like, I've already told you, wine is 2 euros.
Let's focus on wine, guys, because it's a very important subject.
I mean, I think the cost of living is. What do you think about it?
Well, I think as compared to other European countries, for sure, Western Europe tends to be a little bit, cheaper in terms of the cost of life. And when I say Western Europe, I talk about Portugal, Spain, and the likes, as compared to other countries, for example, in the north of Europe, like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and so on and so forth. And in any case, they don't even use the euros, they use their own kronas. So, so the cost of living in Portugal is relatively low, and I would say that is somehow changing because it depends on where you're staying. Because in Lisbon Central, for sure, it has become something else, because the cost of the houses, the cost of daily life can be a bit more, especially if you want to live in the center of Lisbon. So, for example,
maybe it's me who made the road choice. Ningeenda huko ushago.
nilikwambia kuja tukae ushago. But anyways, like for example, yeah, but the accommodation, apart from the accommodation that can be quite tricky, everything else in terms of the food, in terms of the transport, in terms of like daily upkeep is not as high as compared to other European countries, which is also very manageable as compared to even a city like Nairobi. Nairobi can be wow.
Actually, there's something important you told me today. You are like, when you're here, it's easy to budget because you know how much you're going to be using. If you're going to use a bus, if you're going to use the metro, you know you can be able to say in a month, I'm going to use X amount. And you use exactly that. But then in Nairobi, the problem is inconsistencies. Kukinyesha, fare ronga, 3 so.
Imefika hata 500, huwezi jua, you never know.
Mimi naweza sema hivyo, mimi ni mswa ronga, msiseme hivyo, I know. But here, it's always going to be 2 euros to wherever you're going.
That's not going to change, and before it changes, it has to be a government law that has gone through to parliament, has been voted for, and all these kind of things. So the systems definitely help, as much as they might not quite help for the housing. For other things, they definitely actually help. So if you're thinking of moving here, then you know these are some of the things that you can consider, because like with, I would say, with 1,000 euros, which is about
130k,
true, you can very comfortably live per month, especially if you're not living in Lisbon Central. That can be something that you can work around, and obviously now be able to do other things on the side. So
there's so many things to do on the side, let me tell you.
So
I think that is part of the best thing about being here, because there's so many things to do on the side. You could go skating, you could go
hiking. If you are somebody who likes the beach is very close.
The beach is beautiful. Just so many small activities for your money's worth. I think one problem I have with Nairobi is that very few things to do, so we all use our money drinking. Honestly, my clubs zimejaa just because hakuna kitu ingine, hakuna activity ingine. Honestly, that's my take. I feel like with very few activities, and so you end up spending so much money in the clubs.
True. Like that's 100,000, you can blow it in a night. It's so easy. Like,
very true. Very possible. Depends your squad. Who is in your squad? But then so here I think the value of life is better because there's so much to do with your money.
True.
But how come people here are a bit more mental diseases, loneliness, such things?
These that are things that are coming up in our current world, like mental health. Even in Kenya, you'll find people also having these kind of issues, mental health issues and depression and anxieties and all these kind of things. I would say it's just like, being faced by different sets of problems, because the problems here are not actually different from what guys face in Kenya anyway. It's just the way, I think for us, we've gone through so much problems. Like Kenyans, we always have
unajua heartbreak hapa wiki mbili,
2 seconds you're out of it.
Like back in the market.
Kuoga na kurudi soko. My friend, so like
hakuna kurudi soko hivyo.
Sasa unarudi soko
aje. First of all, and I've also realized who the rates of maybe this is just my own experience, but not many people shoot. Because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to have a partner.
It's cheaper to even for taxes kwanza.
Taxes, hata nyumba,
accommodation, ukiwa na mtu, ukiwa na kamtu.
Nakwambia ukitaka ku relocate huku, tafuta kamtu mkuje tu wawili. Bora tu nyi wote you are of working ability. If you're two, life is 10 times
so
cheaper and easier. I think here the system is made for 2 and not for 1.
Wawili. But as you were saying, that the problems here, obviously it's just because our thought processes in Kenya, I think we have been faced with so many problems over time, to an extent that, we don't see anything as too big. Plus we make a joke out of any problem that we find, and it's like, here too. Like we I don't know what is the biggest thing that could really shake us, honestly. So like, and it's very different here from the thought processes of people here. Small things trigger them. Very small things.
As you grow older, you're so sheltered, and then you obviously, maybe now the world starts throwing things at you, and maybe it's harder to cope. I don't know, but then I feel like here people, the mental problems and the loneliness, it's more here. There's a first world problem.
True.
But then if you're looking to relocate, I think someone who's had a Kenyan experience.
This is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's non-issues, you know. Because I think we have a thick skin. Each and every one of us have a thick skin. Where hata kama ulikuwa coast north of Kenya or wherever, like you always have a thick skin because you've been through it. You know. So it's for us. It's like okay, sure, moving on. Anyway, but I'm glad you enjoyed your time.
I really did.
And
guys, it was not. I know sina zile you know those Instagram videos of champagne. This went to the Eiffel Tower. No. My experience was very unique and different. I've gone to hostels, hotels.
The whole experience.
I've lived with other people. I have a housemate now. I have just such a very wholesome experience of Portugal, and I really have enjoyed so much. Learning everything here has been amazing,
and that's the best way, because now you get to know exactly, you know, how it is like to live as a local and not just like a tourist. You're not just here like in a bubble and you are thinking, oh my gosh, 20 palette Instagrammable. Oh my god, no. But like
Japan hizo basi venye nilingia na suitcase zangu mbili nikizidrag. Let me tell you, do you know, okay, I have to tell you this. Do you know Rocio Square ukitoka kwa metro?
Okay.
Do you know there's no ramp?
Oh yeah, there's no escalator there.
Oh my god, I carried 2 suitcases up a flight of stairs zilikuwa zinakaa hivi.
Na hakuna mtu anakusaidia. You don't know a guy.
I was like,
are there guys here?
Everyone's just like everybody is minding their own business. So I just buckled up and I took them in, and when I got out, so when you come out of Rocio Square, you come out from the underground, and then the whole square is exposed to you. It's extremely beautiful, and that's where it just stole my heart. I was like, look, this is beautiful. This is ancient buildings. It's historical. It was everything that I imagined.
Right.
And I would also say that if you're an African, come to Portugal. Tembea, see for yourself.
Europe, by the way. Msisemage ati kama ni South America, kama ni Spain. No, iko Europe.
Anybody say that?
People say that. People don't know where exactly is this country. Like
so many people ask me why I was choosing Portugal. But then for me it chose me. I feel like Portugal.
Me too. I always say that Portugal. Portugal chose me. It's like, you know, it's a place, a safe haven. People don't understand it. They've never noticed that. Oh, it's a good country. But
it's a beautiful country, guys. If you want to relocate to Europe, Portugal is a really great country. Just know, maybe here you come and negotiate for a bigger salary, because the average salary might be a bit low.
It's lower as compared to other European countries, for sure.
So it's not like you're going to come and get a bigger salary. No. But then according to other European countries,
and also as you grow, you can definitely get other jobs that pay better. So it's you know, as a landing place, of course, you know, don't expect that much of a huge extraordinary salary,
especially to start with.
But you know what, it's not as bad, because right now the minimum salary is 760 euros, which is about, could be 100k.
Could be 100k
Kenya
actually.
Shillings. So it's not like extraordinarily low.
No. But
of course you expect that, because you're here and the expenses will be higher also.
Especially as a new person, before you get your routine.
So there's also that part. But you know, it can be a good grounding place for you to begin. So
and you get, like, this chick now can access the whole of Europe, because now she's a citizen of here.
I mean, even if when you come with a visa, you can Schengen visa, you can explore.
But then look, no, you don't have that kind of time. I feel also, to be honest, I've enjoyed being here for 2 months,
right?
Because I've gotten in deep into the culture and understood it. I think you can't do that with 3 days, 4 days of a visa. There's a lot of African ancestry here, so we kind of all have to be very proud of the buildings and what the beauty of Portugal, because somehow also our ancestors contributed to this. And I know these cobblestones were not just made by, you know who.
Let's not go there, because
we know these cobblestones,
we know
how they got to the ground. So come and be part of it. Come and enjoy part of your ancestry and see what it means to live in a house that's where I'm living now. It's 200 years old of a house and stuff. Like, it's amazing.
Wow, I'm so glad, guys. We leave it at that until next time. Ukirudi Nairobi, sijui unarudi kurudi kwa soko ama unarudi, but hopefully to see you sooner than soon. It's a secret. You have to stick around.
First of all, this country wants me here. Don't be confused. It's not me. It's this country. It wants me. It needs me here. Anyway, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Thank you for inviting me to your channel. And guys, please follow me at Kyallo on YouTube.
Yes. And I'm at Ndita Wambura on all social media. As usual, you know, this channel is for great content.
It's really for great content.
Living abroad and study abroad and all this.
Actually, studying is so much easier to come and get friends.
Bye, guys.
Bye.